So there are issues to be considered when we talk about exports. Let's bring in Joseph Itiong, who is the president and head of the Nigeria Exporters, to talk to us for a few minutes on the program. Good morning. We thank you very much, Mr. Itiong. We appreciate your time.
Good morning.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's get this conversation started. Talk to us about the business of exports in Nigeria, non-oil exports, I mean. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, but I couldn't get more. I said I should talk about the business of non-oil export. I hope I can hear you clearly. I'm Prince Joseph Itiong. I'm the Director General, Association of Nigerian Exporters, not the President. I'm the Director General, Chief Executive. The export sector is an interesting sector, especially now that more people are interested to talk about it. And we want to move from talking to really getting more people to get involved in exporting. That's why the best slogan is now, are you an exporter or are you interested in investing in export business? And these are the two groups of people I like to address, those who are exporters and those who are interested in investing in export business.
Okay, let me ask, let's continue this conversation. We have quite a lot of items to talk about, but let's start from one. The issues for you in the areas of quality of what to export, non-oil exports, whether they are agri or manufacturing products. One, quality. Two, incentives.
I could hear one. I think you'll repeat the second one, but
yes,
the first one, that is has to do with the quality.
Yes.
Quality is an issue in export. It's not just in Nigeria. If you don't have to address quality, you cannot really talk about exporting. What we do is we try to encourage, or at least, let me use the word encourage, exporters to be conscious of quality. The quality issue is not decided even by the exporter or the producer, it's decided by the buyer. But in this country, why we have problems about quality is that we treat exports in the production age, where you get to the farm for export without knowing what the farmer, the market wants. When you get to the factory to produce something for export, and you've not gotten the specs from the buyer. That's the difference. Once you are able to know what the buyer wants, you follow the specs and you can't make a mistake and your products will not be rejected. So all the people who complain the products have been rejected have not followed the rules of the game. It is one game, it is one sector that I can say is an honest business sector. If you are told to farm for export and they have told you not to use the synthetic fertilizer and you hide and use it, you pay for it because when it gets there, they will test it and it will come out clearly. If you are in the factory and they have given you conditions, the water and all the things you need to do and you have not done it, if you are told about the production process, including the machinery, the process technology of the machine, and you use what you can, you pay for it. That's just the problem. The issue of testing for standards is also there. What we do in the country is that most of the laboratories are sectorial. The agencies have their own laboratories and they rely on that. The NAFDAC has its groups of laboratories, Standard Organization has its own, and other regulatory agencies. We are looking forward to the day that we're going to have the National Risk Analysis Center, which is a WTO standard for food processing sector. Risk analysis is what Nigeria chose to call it because I remember some years back, NAFDAC did talk about it. They presented a proposal to the National Council on Commerce at that time that National Risk Analysis Center should be encouraged or established in the country to meet WTO standard.
Okay, let me tie.
I remember at that time, the decision was that it was within the purview of Ministry of Health and not Commerce. I was quite new in the system then.
Okay, let me tie in very quickly here.
We need that National Standards Laboratory, which will bring all the other agencies together. All the kinds of laboratories will be in one location. They can always do their thing instead of you finishing in NAFDAC and going to standard organization. Liberia.
We apologize, we lost Joseph Idiong there in Abuja. We will try to reconnect with him for that conversation about the business of exports in Nigeria, and he's been talking about the core issues in quality of Nigeria's exports and export products we exported, non-oil exports specifically, and he says there's been problems with the producers and the farmers in Nigeria because some of the products do not meet international quality and standards in terms of the packaging and everything that we do here. So if you hear in the news that Nigerian products are rejected overseas, then you have an idea of where the problem really lies. But let's get him back. I think we have Joseph Idiong back on the line. Thank you very much, sir, for sticking around. We do apologize for that short break there. Let's get back. Well, let's move on quickly to the issue of competitiveness. How competitive are Nigerian products in terms of exports?
Yeah, the Nigerian products could be competitive. Nigerian products could be competitive if we are very, very careful. You see, the product is competitive if you take the appropriate measures that you ought to take. What is competitiveness? It is ensuring that you do what is expected of everybody who is in that sector, because export is a matter of specification. If you are producing in India and producing in US or producing in Nigeria and you follow the specs, you will be competitive. The other aspect of competitiveness is, has to do with where you have an advantage. If you have an advantage, then you can always be competitive in a product sector. So I think Nigeria's problem is not that of really having to be competitive or having issues with our market or getting rejections because of our country. It's like I said, it's the fact that those who are in the business must talk to those who know it. Most of my members cannot have the problem except that they don't talk to us. If they talk to us, we tell them from day one what should be done. And they will always get out there and be competitive.
Okay.
They can be competitive if they do the right thing.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this last question. The value of the Naira has been going rapidly down south. And we all know that when you have a weak local currency, it helps exporters because you go out there for you sell products in a stronger dollar, then you bring it back, it helps you. Are your members taking advantage of this? Is it something they're taking advantage of, or we're losing on that from that front as well?
Okay, I hope I hear you well. the issue of naira and dollar is discussed at every level, including the villages. One thing that I noticed quickly is that it even affects the cost of exportable products. You go to procure products now, they say they try to increase the prices overnight to see whether they can match the dollar, which is not going to be very good for us. What should happen is that we take advantage of the situation, not just my members, but those who want to invest in export business. Take, for instance, the Bureau de Change that has been talked about. This is an opportunity for Bureau de Change members to discuss with us, to partner with us, to see how they can invest in the export sector so that they can earn the foreign exchange they need. A very great opportunity for them. This is an opportunity for importers of goods who have brought in the goods and have sold, but they cannot go back to market because the dollar is too high for them to buy and now go back to market. They can as well come to us, let them partner with us, get into export business, and they will be better off because their monies can go out there and come back in good exchange rate. So not just our members. It's a very good opportunity for the export sector, and we can't miss it. Anybody who is interested in this should quickly take advantage of it. We are here to assist. We know that there are products, some seasons are here now, like ginger, you can get it. You can get other stuff like that you can export. And when you get that out, you make a big money out of it. Well, as usual, if we wait, the foreigners who were exporting to this country will now be the ones to come in here and export from Nigeria, because assuming their money is tied down here, what do? They have to get back into export business. So it's a big situation for Nigeria, and we are trying to take advantage of it.
Okay, we thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate those comments on that very important discourse on the state of the economy, that part of the country's economy. Thank you very much, Joseph Idiong, Director General, Association of Nigeria Exporters, from our Abuja studio.